Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Focus Vandalia. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we're going to let you know about some road projects here in Vandalia that are hopefully wrapping up before we hit those winter months. We're also going to be checking in with our building department, let you know what you need to know about trees on your property that might be dying and the liability that could cause you. We'll also check in with our Vandalia Rec Center, where they're already thinking about the Christmas season. But our first stop today is here at Superior Abrasives. We're in the Stone Quarry Crossings business development, and this was the site earlier this month of a massive ribbon cutting. Superior Abrasives pulled out all of the stops in their effort to make the company's November 1st ribbon cutting a major event. Assistant City Manager Greg Shackelford says the company went the extra mile to make it special.
They made it a week-long activity as far as having their clients and vendors come in to see the new facility. If you haven't been by there on Peters Pike, the building is gorgeous. It's got a mainly glass front with a big painted red S for Superior, but there were over 150 folks that showed up at the ribbon cutting. Elected officials were there. Just a phenomenal event, and kudos to them.
Shackelford says his office worked closely with company officials to provide any needed resources to help pull the event off.
What they found from us is that we're a family in Vandalia, and they found out that you and I and our folks internally did a great job. Rudy Wells and a few of the folks, the Parks and Rec garage folks, helped to set up the chairs, and I mean it was just really a great teamwork and great coordination, and kudos to them for allowing us to come in and do the pre-meetings and make sure that we had everything set up the way that it should be done.
Superior first opened their doors in Vandalia back in May and had an immediate impact on the local economy.
They've had over 80 employees that have been coming in every day as soon as the doors opened and they got the green light to start operations. So that's been a nice boost to our income tax revenue already.
Also on the economic development front is good news regarding the former Morton Middle School site on National Road. Shackelford says the developer is in the final stages of due diligence and should be executing a formal purchase agreement very soon.
They have shared that they've got a couple of medical users that have committed that they're under contract with to open at the site. And I would say for the first phase, it's about a 10-acre site over there. About a third of the site will be originally under construction once they get going. It'll probably be periodic times where it starts and maybe stops, but it's super news. And then as they grow and develop more, it'll probably be more in the rear, which would be to the north towards the airport property line where the fence is.
And more good news to report. A moraine company is very close to pulling the trigger on a deal to relocate its offices to Vandalia, bringing more jobs to the city.
They were approved for a $50,000 EDGE grant. I worked with the Development Court Board, and we were able to get them a small grant with the Development Court Board. But they are looking at taking one of the Stratacash buildings, which was the formerly PaySource, primarily office space, and they're looking at potentially going into what would be the south building over there. And what that means for us, it's really exciting, is that they would have over 100 employees that would come, kind of tough on the region, but from Moraine to come to Vandalia. And it would be a huge boost for us from a payroll perspective.
Our next stop today is at the Vandalia Senior Citizen Center, where members are looking forward to some very special events in November, like a big breakfast event to honor our nation's veterans.
That is on Veterans Day, which is Friday, November 11th at 9 a.m. We have a couple speakers that are going to come. There'll be a short presentation, and they usually do a full hot breakfast that is big and very good. So if you are a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, even if your spouse has passed away, please sign up and also put down the name of the veteran and what branch they served in, because we'd like to have everyone here.
Center Coordinator Tony Williams says she'd like to have everyone on hand just 1 week later as the center's members gather together for a Thanksgiving potluck.
The Senior Center prepares turkeys and they're going for a traditional fare, so you have to sign up in one of the different categories. This one, we don't usually have entertainment for potluck, but this one we do. 2 people, Joy Anderson, who's an MC, an entertainer, and a nostalgic singer, so I'm sure it's the old tunes, and Leonard Johnson will be coming for entertainment in that one. So that's 2 good potlucks not to miss in November.
The Thanksgiving potluck will be Friday, November the 18th, starting at 6 p.m. But if you'd like to attend that one, you'll need to sign up in advance. You'll also want to sign up for a very popular speaker in the center's lifelong learning program.
We have the very largest lifelong learning class with Sinclair. We have 61 people that are signed up for Mike Sprague's political science class. And since they enjoy him so much, the center is sponsoring him to come one extra session beyond his Sinclair class. So that's on November 21st, which is a Monday at 1. So if you've not been to Mike's class, kind of want to check it out, that'd be a good day to show up and just see what everybody else is signing up for.
One last note about the Senior Center. As the weather turns colder this month, we all know that the snow and ice of winter are right around the corner. Williams wants to get the word out that the center has a plan in place should that weather get too rough to drive in.
We are tied with the Vandalia school system as far as when we need to shut down. If the Vandalia schools close, the Senior Center also closes. If the Vandalia schools are on delay, we do not delay, although our Van-Tran will be on a delay. We do ask that you double check. If you listen at night and they're just on delay, double check in the morning, because if the weather's gotten worse, they close in the morning.
The center will also have a weather hotline up and running. If there's ever a doubt, call 415-2387 for the latest weather-related closing information. The snow and ice of winter also tell us that Christmas is just a few short weeks away. Recreation Supervisor Brittany Oliver says you should make plans now to attend the city's Christmas tree lighting event.
We will have it on Sunday, December 4th. It'll start at 6 p.m. Santa Claus is said to be here. We will light the tree, have refreshments, cookies, and hot cocoa.
The tree lighting has been an annual event for a number of years now, and the crowds seem to grow larger with each passing year.
Yeah, we have over 300 people that come out. A few years ago, we started a candle lighting. So at the very end, we'll sing Silent Night and pass out candles. It's a very fun community event.
And even after the tree is lit, the evening is far from over. Guests are invited inside the center to pay a visit to jolly old St. Nick.
Yep, you go inside and Santa will be here. You can sit on his lap and tell him what you want for Christmas, and we'll also have crafts in the gym as well.
From Christmas trees to trees of a different nature, Vandalia's chief building official has some advice for homeowners who may have a dying tree on their property. Take it down now before Mother Nature does it for you.
It has been a serious problem, and we've seen a lot of the ash and others that have died off. But if the tree is in the tree lawn or out to where it can fall on the street or the public sidewalk, then the homeowner is responsible for that.
Ted Baker says trees that have branches or limbs that hang over a public right-of-way could face financial responsibility if a dead tree hits someone else's person or property.
There's a lot of liability connected to it, if the city is brought into it, then we can make the homeowner take care of that.
It's a good idea to check your trees out thoroughly before they lose all of their leaves, and consider taking down any trees that are clearly in decline.
At times it can be a little difficult once the weather starts to turn and the leaves fall. Normally the best time to do that is in the summer, and you can normally tell a lot of times the ash trees have started to die out from the top down. You'll see a lot of them losing leaves that way. But yeah, you're much better off to make sure you look at them while the leaves are still on, because when it gets into the winter, it's really difficult to know.
Baker says his office tries to pay attention to trees that might be dying and tries to inform homeowners of their responsibilities.
We'll normally contact the property owner and ask them to take care of the situation. And if they don't, then we can, if we have to, have it removed and then charge the property owner.
Our last stop today is on Groesbeck Street, where crews are in the midst of a street reconstruction.
Right now behind me, they're working on the water main replacement, and once that's done, they'll move over to replace the sanitary sewer and follow up with a total street reconstruction out here.
Public Service Director Rob Cron says the Groesbeck project is one of several taking place in Vandalia, replacing aging and declining infrastructure.
This is one of the number of projects we've been working on here in the past 2 years and actually have planned for the next 4 or 5 years, where we're replacing some very old infrastructure and pipes in the ground that have been in here in excess of 60 years.
Cron's office is constantly assessing aging systems and working to replace them with new and better materials.
The new material we're putting in the ground here to replace these pipes, we're hoping to get another 50 or 60 years of out as well.
One of the major characteristics of this project on Groesbeck Street is the sheer length of it. This is 1,200 feet of water line that's going to be placed in the ground, and that should be happening here in the next few weeks. Once that part of this project is done, what we're going to see is crews coming back through again, and they're going to be placing the sanitary sewer line in as well. Now, the goal is to have this entire project done before the end of the fall. If the weather holds out, that's what will happen. If not, this is a project that will carry over into the spring. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.